Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael.
My name is Cleve.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Friendship
Supreme.
And we're the podcast that dares to ask, how far are you willing to go to make a dream come true?
Did you see that range in the intro though?
Yeah.
Voice acting, baby.
No,
Been
I
working
don't know
on
how
it.
you're not how are you not already signed?
Today, we made sure to let some time pass before we talked about the late and great Kentaro Miura, the writer and illustrator for the manga Berserk. I do feel guilty now that I've dove into it for this episode that I did not reach into this sooner, because this is a fucking world, man. Like, it is in depth and it is fucked up. Like,
Feel it?
So a little bit about him. He started drawing before he was in elementary school. His mother was an art teacher and his father was a storyboard artist. So I'm sure they taught him how to draw at a very early age. He made his first manga at 10 for school. Like, here's my book. I mean, obviously it wasn't mass produced, but
Right.
He was 10 and he made a
Fair.
manga. So Berserk is a dark fantasy series that began in 1989. He was born in 1966. So that's also very fast.
So that's a while ago.
And he continued it until his death. As of 2021, Berserk has more than 50 million copies, making it the best-selling manga series of all time. He said the drawing and the drawings that he did made him happy, but he felt like his writing wasn't for everybody. And it wasn't until he got into college that his friends were like, you need to do what makes you happy, not, what you think will make other people happy.
Mm-hmm.
So randomly, with no plan, he drew about 48 pages of this dark fantasy story that he started. The story starts with like a very dark, vengeful warrior and what's called the Black Swordsman Arc. And it's this guy, he's got one arm that shoots like arrows. He's got this big, massive sword like Cloud does. It's kind of where it started. And it goes through that arc. The next arc actually speaks on why he's on this vengeful path.
I mean, the bigger the sword, the more powerful the person. So
exactly. And yeah, that's what everybody's like. It's so funny because in the manga, I started reading the manga, and in the movies, there's 3 movies out. Everyone's like, is that like a prop? Why is that fucking sword so big? So Kentaro was never focused really on an ending. He was just writing it as he went, which makes it more impressive that you have the best-selling manga and you're just kind of, as it goes, coming up with what's happening. He passed away May 6th of 2021. I, like Chadwick, I don't really like to talk on people's deaths until some time passes. He had an acute aortic dissection, like a tear in the heart. Rare, fewer than 200,000 cases. Sadly, it is treatable if you can catch it, and he just didn't. So, unfortunately, the story goes unfinished. There's 3 movies. I think I mentioned that. What's fascinating about the movies is the movies they cover volume 1 through volume 14. So volume 1 and 2 are the Black Swordsman Arc. 3 through 14 is this entire backstory. And sure of why he did that. Give me just a second. I am still talking.
Is there anybody that's planning on trying to continue the story?
So he did have assistants who helped him with the drawings. He did all the writing. There was a tweet put out by one of the assistants that said, "I'll do my best." And that's it. And that doesn't necessarily try to continue the story, or did Kentaro leave instructions on how the direction he wanted it to go. The way it is as of now, when he passed, the story could have a little bow on it and be done. Like, there could not be another issue, and I think a lot of fans would be okay with how it ended. But here's the thing. If this man spent his entire life and created a fucking masterpiece,
Mm-hmm.
and if you go in there touching it, and you don't do what you're supposed to do with it, if anything slacks on it, if it's not to the standard that the fans are used to, you've ruined his work.
Yeah, and of course, well, you have, well, for whatever reason, I mean, the continuation of any character is never
Right.
Someone's going to be upset. Nobody's going to be happy.
And I don't blame the fans, because just like Chadwick, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe he was so young. I can't believe this happened to him. And then eventually it starts creeping as a fan where you go, well, what's going to happen now? Are we going to revisit this? What are we going to do with the Black Panther mantle? But I think there might be fans that as soon as it's not him writing are fucking done with it. You know what I mean?
It's fair.
And I think that I could be one of the best artists in the world, but I think the pressure of trying to continue on that story would fucking devastate me. It's too much pressure to try to take over this mantle. Not to mention, like, because it's not rare. I mean, it's not uncommon for someone to know how their story is going to end,
Right.
and have a backup plan for it. So Saga, the comic that you and I have both read, the writer Kevin Vaughn, maybe Brian Vaughn, something like that.
It's Brian. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think it is Vaughn.
He said that he's taking a break from the story. He's not writing anymore right now.
Because he hates us.
Right. But he did say that his wife knows how he wants it to end if he randomly were to get hit by a bus. So, like, he's made plans if things don't go as they should in life for the story to finish if he's not there to do so. Yeah, I think it's just a lot. It's a lot of pressure. Because, like I said, purist fans might be like, fuck this.
Right.
Miura, I'm done with it. And then it flops, regardless on how well your writing was.
And that's unfortunate. I think that it should continue on just to at least give some sort of closure. Yeah. As long as somebody's still involved from the original team, I feel like.
Well, so my understanding, I could be wrong. I think he taught enough people his art style to help him with the drawings, but he did all the writing. So there's not like a think team that they bounced ideas off of. It seems like it was just him writing.
Well, and not knowing where it ends currently, I don't know that I could speak to it, but I mean, there's still kind of a clear-cut path for certain things.
Right.
Or at least a way to end it.
But also, it could be a fucking choose your own adventure at this point. Do you imagine the theories that can come out for where the story goes from this point from fans? Because fans can write some of the craziest fucking stories out there.
Do you continue it on as like the artist as the unofficial continuation of the story and just put unofficial in front of it?
Right. Or I think that they should put out more if he had more already. But I think if he's done, that is a big shoes to fill.
That's fair. So
I watched all 3 movies. They're on Netflix, and I was just going to watch one. It does not work that way. It is one of those stories that's like, cuts during a very tense moment and picks up during the next movie. The movies came out February 2012, June 2012, February 2013. So they went boom, 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 and they all hit at once. And the beginning of that story to the end of that story, I was glued. I spent the whole day just watching all three movies. And that shit gets dark. This shit gets dark real fast. Um, Example, nothing that'll spoil anything because it wasn't in the movie anyway. He's born from a corpse. They kill his mother, and he just kind of gets to come out.
Like Fullmetal Alchemist prepared me for like the worst that can happen in anime, so I'm just kind of numb to it all.
I think it's imagine, do you remember the girl and the dog?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that
Okay.
just like that is like the cap for me.
Okay. This will pass that.
Wow.
The end of the third movie will surpass that greatly. I'm trying to think of what else I could say without spoiling anything. He was raised by like a stepdad who raped him. Like, he had a real tough upbringing.
So the writer had some demons.
Bro, so the whole time, again, I'm trying not to speak too ill of it because I'm a new fan, but I was like, what the fuck you have going on? That these are the stories that your friends told you to write what makes you happy. Right. And this is where you ended up. That's scary to me. But fuck, was it a good story, man? Like, just the whole time I was glued to the TV. I wish that he did pass away, but you know what? If he had not passed away, I don't know if it was going to end anytime soon. Anyway, that was just kind of, he was happy with. He did what he loved till the end of the day, to the end of his days. So the three movies are called the Golden Age arc, and it's like a flashback from what happens to the first two volumes, which is very odd for the first two volumes to tell one story, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to tell a whole backstory. But he said, I knew the eclipse was coming, so there truly was nowhere to run, which the eclipse happens in the manga, like the countdown. And he was like, also, there's a reason I made the Golden Age arc as long as it was. I felt dissatisfied with the so-called flashback scenes in a number of works. It's typical to stick flashbacks in just as a short break in order to maintain the pace of the story. But I wanted to potentially feel from the bottom of my heart the reason for Guts, which is the name of the main character, the reason for Guts' revenge, and the basis of his character's development. If it lasted only a short time, it runs the risk of merely amounting to information. Since I'm the one drawing it, I need to make it more of a story you can invest in emotionally. And that's how it ended up being so long. Which he's basically calling out the fucking show Arrow, because that's all that is. Is flashback. You felt
personally attacked by Arrow.
And you do, man. By the time I'm at the end of it, I'm invested in all these characters and what happens to each of them. Each of them have quite an ending, and there's 7-ish of them. I'm like, all right, well, fuck me. I guess I'll read more now, because now I need to know how it ends. But then I'll not really have how it ends because he's not here to end it. It's a very tough Sophie's choice.
It's like your best friend thinking it'd be funny to get you into reading Saga so that he can tell you that the writer of Saga is never going to come out with another one because he hates us.
He did Never. He's just taking a break.
How long has that break been, Cleve?
It's been a bit. It's been a minute. But how good was it till then?
So good. And then, I'm just sitting here with
Yo, you think you've waited a long time.
no.
I've
You
waited so much longer.
dragged me into this torture.
Yeah, it was good though. So I bought the first 2 volumes, the Black Swordsman Arc. Just starting to reach into it. There are some gory shit. It's it's real. Like
Anime do be doing that, man.
Yo, this is rated MA. Like,
I think what was it that I was watching? And I was like, I think I can watch this around Jameson. She's 4, as long as it's like not crazy, like it's not bad. And I was watching Soul Eater, and I think like halfway through an episode, there's blood dripping everywhere and people being murdered. I'm like, oh right. I forget that Soul Eater sometimes isn't
they're the Grim Reapers. That's right.
But like Black Star is like the super like just bright and flashy character that my kid's like, yeah, I like this.
He's a good character.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine.
Anime do be bloody.
Yeah, when the Pokemon anime is slashing Pokemon in half and killing them, you can understand the amount of liberties that this guy might have had. He had so much. They let him do things. So Jennifer, I was trying to tell her about it because it kind of helps me to talk it out before I end up talking about it on the podcast. I'm at the middle of like the first movie, and she's like, "Oh, that actually sounds like something I'd want to watch." Like, okay, well, I guess I'll stop talking then. So we watched the first movie, and I forgot that a kid dies. Like a kid gets killed, and she's like, "Oh my god!" She was like, and this kid's like crying because he's in pain. He got stabbed in the chest. He's got blood, and she was like, "I don't know if I can watch the rest of them." I was like, "Okay," and she goes, "I mean, was that the last kid that dies?" It's like, "I think so," but she does not know the wrath that's coming in movie 2 and 3. That
why you do that
to the point where I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot this kid died," like, because that was one of the nicer things that's happened in this fucking anime. Oh man, but you know what? And it doesn't end like closure,
right?
Because it's not supposed to. It's the 14th volume of God knows how many.
Yeah, the man planned on writing until his deathbed, so.
And he did. And you know what? Fucking what a way to go. Like, you got to do what you loved every day until the last day. And not everybody gets to say that.
Not a question about this specific anime, unfortunately for you. The question is what series that's currently going on right now would be the most devastating to you if the like creator just went and so like they just stopped and it was done right where the last episode or thing you read about it was
anime or
anything.
Okay.
I mean, unfortunately, Chadwick Boseman already happened, so that is like that has stopped the creation of. Well, I mean, they're gonna try to continue that, but
so I'll kill a little time by talking about this show called Manifest.
Oh yeah,
Manifest.
They're on the plane.
It's a fucking disaster of a story, right? So yeah, they're on a plane. They disappear for 5 years. They come back. They get like what they call these callings, where it gives them hints on how to save people and whatnot, right? 90, okay, that's a lot. 85% of this movie or this show is me telling you, I'm gonna go over there, and you tell me, no, you have to stay here, and I say, I gotta go, trust me, and you go, okay, and then you let me go. Every episode has, and the reason I would be so devastated is because sadly I've spent enough time in this purgatory to where you better fucking give me an ending. I need to know. It's just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by grinding my teeth and sitting down because you have the last episode and I just need to get through it so I can say that I watched it all and I'm done with it.
Fair.
And if this thing ended and nobody could tell me what the fuck was happening to these people, oh god. I know it's just gonna be like Lost. I know it is.
Could you elaborate for me your feelings on the movie or the show Sweet Tooth, and if you've seen it yet, or if you're watching it with anyone?
I've watched the first episode with Jennifer and my mother. My mother decided after I told her about the show and showed her 2 trailers that she would just watch it all by herself.
Because why not? You guys are in the same house. How'd she sneak that out?
She was just in her room watching
just sitting in her room like, I got it all.
I thought I was like, there's 8-hour-long episodes that's a work shift. And she was like, well, you know how the next one comes. I was like, if you got through 2, that'd be one thing. But I know you dozed off in between them too. So then you still watched them all. I was like, who are you?
Monster. No, I was trying to think like
Anyway,
if there was a series that like I'd be sad about it, like if it just stopped. And I think like I have been so hyped about this new Ghostbusters movie, and something came out recently about it again, that I'd be real sad if like they just stopped and couldn't tell that story.
I can see that. Well, let me put it to you this way. I've watched 3 movies, 1 episode of the first anime, which I stopped because apparently the anime is not that great. It's like okie dokie, fine. And read 1 chapter of the manga, and I'm devastated that this is ending. Because, but also it's a weird situation because sadly, I've heard of this story before, but I don't know if I would have started on it.
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
The art style is sick. Like this man's art is like I'm impressed. I'm real impressed with it. If you want to just Google Image Berserk, you'll see a lot of his style in it. It is unfortunate to say the least.
I think we're at a time where, unfortunately, a lot of creators that we either grew up with or are coming out, or not to say that good stuff's not being created now, but we've had episodes we've talked about how annoying it is that most of the stuff coming out these days is recycled shit anyway.
Right.
But I think that there's an era of people that were genuine content creators, whether it be media or whatever, and they're going to start passing. And that goes the same with actors and stuff. I mean, we keep talking about Chadwick Boseman, but he's kind of an outlander on that one, not because he's not of the age that should have been. Right. But there are ones that we're seeing that are passing that are like, those are sad. And they're going to start coming more and more. So it'll be interesting to see how, the next 10 years play out.
Well, this guy was 55.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not like
66. So 61 then? Or no, 51. Oh, okay, yeah, 51.
Yeah.
Or 55. Huh, man.
So, I mean,
I guess
that's not the age that you're looking at it coming. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. High 60s, low 70s.
He died from like a medical issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what sucks is this guy's story wasn't that recycled shit. This guy started trends.
Right.
Like any anime character you see with a big fucking sword, that came from this. Like and what's crazy is I was watching a video about the different places he drew inspiration from, and it was all over the place. It wasn't one thing that he took in. He was like, yeah, I feel it was, a couple of mangas and a couple of animes and Lord of the Rings and just everything that he was making one magnificent masterpiece from.
Maybe he knew the actual meaning of Fooly Cooly, so someone had to take him out. They made it look like a natural cause.
I don't think that's what it was.
Does anybody ever
You still trying to figure it out?
Yeah.
I get it, man. You debate it out there and see if some fans bite. Or, you'll send a bunch of angry people at our door joking about a man's death.
Whatever. No, and when I was watching Solier, as I was discussing earlier, Katie was like, this is really confusing. It's like, let me introduce you to Fully Cooley real quick.
Yeah, Fully Cooley is not a starter anime.
So you can never understand what life means ever again.
Yeah. You should definitely watch the first movie of Berserk with her. That way you can just see
the little boy.
I think that she'll get through the
test of love. How much do you love me? How many of these can you get through?
The first two are like, okay, this is a story. Like, okay, I can follow along with all this. At the end, people are getting sacrificed, for demon bloodlust, and it just fucking turned left so fast.
Demons and their bloodlust are pretty
they're everywhere, man.
They're prevalent. Yeah, they're a real thing happening constantly. So we got to make sure we're watching out for it.
Stay blessed.
Did you just stay blessed me?
Stay blessed.
Anyway, you guys, let's know what you guys think about Berserk. Do you think they're going to continue it on? Do you think they should?
Yeah, I was gonna say, should they continue it on? I think it's a bigger question.
And have you ever heard of it before? If not, maybe you should check it out based on Cleve's recommendation. If you have seen it and you think that the anime was actually good, even though Cleve says it was terrible, let us know.
That's what I heard. I was instructed to stop.
Who suggested that you stop?
The internet.
Oh, that sounds accurate. That's not the internet's real strong on their opinions on shit.
Yeah.
But let us know what you guys think down below in the comments. Also, make sure you guys hit like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell because we come out with content every week. There's an episode every week for sure. Then we got podcasts and crime. We've got clips from our Twitch streams. We've got Cleve putting out Nuzlocke challenges. There's all kinds of crazy shit out there, dog. We do so much content. We're like a fucking Netflix, but free, and we don't care if you share us.
I kind of do.
Cleve's a kind of dude. You guys can always reach us on all of our social medias. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We got everything. Friendship Supreme on most things. If you want to see Cleve's TikToks, which are the best TikToks, by the way. I'm willing to admit Cleve's the better content creator as far as digital social media goes. You just check them out at BadMF35. If you want to see sub-tier production, it's ChillMF13 underscore FS.
But it's gold when it is.
But let us know what you guys thought. You guys can reach us at Friendship Supreme on everything. Twitter has no eyes. All eyes should be on our YouTube channel. Just type in Friendship Supreme and you'll be here. If you're at home listening to us and not watching us, you're missing out. Cleve's
and like and subscribe if that's an option.
Cleve's a
Wherever
looker.
you are, it's an option.
I'm a looker. We make funny faces sometimes. Sometimes you see me dancing while I have to mute my mic because the train's going by.
That a good face?
But anyways, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hopefully you guys have a beautiful night. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve. I don't want what another man can give me. If he grants me anything, then it's his to give and not my own.
That was
pretty powerful.
Bitch slap of truth right there.